Time is 5:30. Please stand for the first one. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Joyce, you please have a roll call.
Mayor Sharp,
Present.
Councilmember Arnold.
Here.
Councilmember Bryson.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Councilmember Person. She's here with Here. And Councilmember Gorman. Here. Councilmember Taylor. Here. Councilmember Woodhouse. Here. City Attorney Norton. Here. Director Kelly Brooks Olson.
Here.
City Clerk Olson. Here. Admin Assistant Siebert. And here.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. Can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make the motion.
Motion on the floor, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, mayor's message. The only thing I have today is probably one of the most important things that's happened. The short distance here. You'll be seeing on the newspaper here shortly, but Portland nominating Creative Art District Councilwoman Eden Bryson has her certified municipal leadership. That's a great feat. So now currently we have 3 people in the city of Soap Lake with CMLs. I encourage everyone to get it. This is going to be huge. If we can get everyone to get at least a CML, it'll be the only one in Washington State that any city has everyone. I'm really excited about that. So that article, she did write a little small 2-paragraph essay, so that will be in the paper. Really exciting.
Me too.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Still want your picture too.
All right, that's all I have right now. I'll be working on the newspaper, so I'll get that sent out here pretty soon as well. All right, we're going to move on to report of city officers. Acting Chief Gates.
All right, it's been a little bit since I've been in front of you guys, so I'm longer than normal. I've been working on auditing the government surplus. We completed that this last week. Although we didn't have any items to surplus or audit, it was something that we required us to jump through all the hoops for the government to make them happy. If you notice, we're introducing new summer uniforms. You can see the blue and the tan. We'll be keeping the black for wintertime, but trying to go a little bit lighter colored for summer. We have new pistols have arrived. We're going to 9mm. The guns that we currently have are starting to give us issues. We've had several of them fail, and time to update them and transition to the 9s, which is currently what almost all departments are using. The 40 caliber that we carry right now is pretty much going obsolete. We are also updating our rifles. Again, another issue we had was a failure to feed on a lot of them. Some of this was a lack of gassing issues on the rifle. I've been working with the Sheriff's Department armor. He's been assisting me with getting proper stuff done. I'm pretty excited. He's got contact with the guy that makes barrels for these guns in Moses Lake. The guy got the contract for the Delta Force, and we are getting pre-production Delta Force barrels that are match grade for a super good deal. Officer Baez and Bezabenko have been out patrolling. They are spending one day each week with Mr. Ross over here, and I'm going to let him go into details on their activities.
Thank you.
Okay, for my report, as of today, we've had 60 dog licenses that have been issued or reissued. There appears to be no new licenses issued. They're all reissues. So people are coming back to update their licenses every year. So we're lucky there. Yesterday and today, I've been writing with our new officers to give them familiarization with the issues, code enforcement issues that we have in the city. And they've been very cooperative with me, and sometimes they pick out stuff that I didn't see. So we're working well together on that. And today I rode with Officer Bias, and he's in the process of issuing 4 citations, 2 in Zone A, 1 in Zone B, and 1 in Zone E. These are all repeat offenders since 2020. And on occasion, some of them have cleaned up after they received a warning notice previously. Some of them haven't. So the hammer's coming down on the repeat violators here. And the final thing is we have a new Grant County noxious weed agent, noxious weed control agent. And I'm working on contacting him, and so we can get together and discuss issues within the city of Soap Lake regarding noxious weeds, and hope to be able to schedule soon a public meeting where discussion of noxious weeds and how to control them will be brought up, and that'll be a public hearing, public meeting type thing. And I will, of course, keep the council updated on that, plus making sure that it's made aware to the public. And that's all I have. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this on? No, it's not on. There's too many.
You take turns.
There we go.
There we go. Do you know offhand how much a dog license costs and what the renewal costs? I don't mean to put you on the
No,
spot
no,
if you don't.
It's not very, it's like
$7.
$7 or something,
Okay.
but it costs more if the animal is not spayed or neutered. So, and I think the maximum is like $25 if it's not spayed or neutered.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, for Public Works.
Just a few things to touch on here. The guys were actually able to go out and do some sidewalk repairs on 5th and 3rd Southeast. Probably the most exciting one is we were able to get the sidewalk fixed out in front of Cloudview. We were able to do that because we believe, well, it's not believed, the tree that the city has is what had lifted that sidewalk. So we were able to get in there and get that fixed. The guys were involved with the soapbox derby. We supported the police department in that. They got a ramp built. We got that set up for them. And then I think we had 3 guys on staff for most of Suds and Son to make sure that the bathrooms were cleaned and the garbage was picked up. We realized that we are behind on weed mitigation. Later this month, we have Dylan and Jacob are going in to get their licenses. We have 2 rigs already set up, so we're not waiting till then, but that'll give us time to get caught up. Brian is working diligently on the irrigation on Main Street, and it has been a challenge. So I appreciate him putting the time in that he has. We got the concrete curb removed from the RV park that was causing problems when people were pulling in. And Jeremiah's making really good progress on the roof of the senior center here. It's been kind of a several step process. It's a membrane roof, so he's got the first coat down, kind of waiting for it to dry, and we should have it finished up here shortly. And then the most exciting thing, we were able to locate a press to run with the wastewater plant, and the normal cost on it was just a little under $400,000, and we were able to find one that the manufacturer had been using for a demo unit. They had gone through it, and we ended up being able to purchase that. The council came in. I appreciate that. They did an emergency session. We were able to get it purchased for $59,000. So a huge discount. It's going to save the city money in the long run. We won't have to put another drying bed in. It's going to help us get our digester more healthy. So that was a huge win, and I want to thank the council again for coming in. There was only one of these things, so we had to move quick on it to make sure that we got it, and they did an emergency session. We got it done. So thank you again.
Thank you. Anything from the civil service? No. Any other committees?
The Economic Development Committee, sorry.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, Alex Skovek from the Economic Development Committee. We've been meeting regularly, and one item we wanted to bring to the city's attention, we were reviewing the city's trademark. And there's some action required to make sure we don't lose that as a city. So we put together sort of a history on that, and I put that in writing in a letter. So I'm gonna have that over. There's some fees associated with that, and we're estimating $550 for some fees for the patent office, and then also there'll be some attorney time to be able to go through that. But we think it's important, so our recommendation as a committee is to have the city pursue this, because if the city trademark has good identity for the city and could be potential revenue creation. So I'm gonna pass it over and just want to let you know.
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to report and standing and special committees. Do you have a question?
No,
Oh, yeah. Would you like to start off?
so we used to be able to have two, okay, we only have one on the time now.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the creative district. We've noticed that we have our highway signs up on 28 and 17, and that's really exciting. Quite a setup for us. We had what's called a rural cohort meeting on July 9th, where small cities that are at creative district status get together online and talk about when reports are due and upcoming grants and that sort of thing. We share our event information and ideas and tips. And some of the towns include like Port Townsend, Ellisburg, Tenino, Moses Lake, Langhaven, Fort, that size of town. We have window clings up in the windows for the creative district. You'll see them in that creative district, obviously windows. And then I was invited to the Masters Board meeting on Monday night, and that was good to attend as we proceed with collaborating with our anchor. So that's all the news. Thanks.
Thank you. Anything from the Chamber of Commerce? Mayor Pro Tem?
Okay, usually Susan will be doing this. She's in the car listening. Southern Sun is a good success. I know we haven't had our follow-up meeting yet because we had to postpone it till next Monday. We're also going to do Moonlight Powell on August 9th. Kind of throw it together kind of last minute, but we already talked to city. And I talked to the sheriff's marine division and we got the permit for that and it's all okay. So it's just gonna be small, kind of local. But, you know, decorate the boats, win prizes, doing it at West Beach this year so that we don't have to walk across the mud and sink. So, it'll be 7 o'clock, starting 7 o'clock, by this, which is a Saturday. And we're gonna have the flyer a little more online as it goes.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anything from the policy committees or anything else? Layton is on.
We didn't meet, it was the 4th of July, so we'll process the meeting that occurred on the 28th of June, where we had the Department of Ecology manager and all of those, you know all about it. So I'll report on that later. The Conservancy has met and is in the process of its processing too. So, and well, I'll say that later.
Thank you very much. Right, no more for the committee, the special committees. We're going to move on to public comment. If anyone would like to come up and make a public comment, please keep it under 3 minutes. And hopefully it's matters pertaining to the current agenda, please feel free to step up to the mic and press the button.
Yeah.
We're back with 33 North Dogwood about the meeting that Judith referred to where we had the Bureau and we had the Department of Ecology here. And it was very informative and a couple of issues came up that we come up a couple of times here at council meetings that really have a lot of bearing on the lake and a lot of people care about it. And the first issue that came up was, of course, the level of the lake, and everybody'd like to see more water in the lake. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen. The Bureau has always been position is that we have the interception pumps going around the lake that are intercepting water, fresh water, that's trying to work its way in. And they've always said they've been really reluctant to, well, they just said they're not going to go there. They want to capture the water that's trying to get in and pump it back up into the canal so that it can go to farmers, because that's what they're about. And so they were very, Clyde Lake, they were very definite about the idea that it was not, they would not reduce that pumping to bring the lake up. It's done and just decided, and it's not an option. And as a city, we have nothing to say. So, and if the lake goes away, which it could because we're in a drought, or continues to go away, that's the way it's going to be. And the Department of Ecology weighed in on that. And now that we're an outstanding resource water, their position is that they don't want any fresh water. They don't want any irrigation water to get into the lake because it would dilute had impurities, whatever, and lower the quality of the lake. And so they're very much in lockstep with the Bureau. So it's not going to happen. You can tell, people that come in that we, as a city, have no control over, and it's definitely off. It's not going to happen. And so, Clyde Lay, the guy said, if you want more water in the lake, and he wasn't being sarcastic, he's a Bureau guy. He said, the only way it's going to happen is if you do a rain dance and it pays off and it comes down. So the other huge issue that comes up is the mineral water baths. And Conservancy and the council members brought up that the idea that the mineral water baths, pumping water out of the lake for the bath, might be doing the lake harm. We really don't need that because it's sucking minerals out and this sort of thing. So I brought it up to Jamie Shore, who was the Department of Ecology gal. And I mean, they've been investigating this lake, looking at all these different things that affect the lake. And she gave me the blankest look, like, what are you talking about? This is not a problem. This is not something that we're concerned about. We didn't even know it exists. And so there's no indication from anybody, any data or anything that the very minimal amount of water that we use being used to fill that bath all year round is not a problem. And now that the lake is going away, the mineral baths become that much more important because the lake is less user friendly and people can't get to it. So we're so fortunate that we have a mineral baths, and so that people have use of it. I mean, that's kind of our starship. I mean, that's what we've always been about, the healing waters. And it's a really big thing. We should be promoting it, and rather than say, kind of casting the shadow over it, like, oh, this is this could be a bad thing. We're hurting the lake, because that all comes back on the owners of the inn. And Robert Jerping was the manager at the time. He was like real defensive, like, you're making us out to be bad people that were harming the lake, and that is really bad because we should make them feel just the opposite. We should make them feel, that they're an asset. We want to develop it. We want them to be successful, and it's very important. And I think, there's a lot of people at this meeting besides me that were there. So I would really appreciate it if other people, somebody else spoke to this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Leslie Taylor, 14 Evergreen Street. And I just want to, add on to Bert's comments that the DOE was also quite adamant in their, saying that the benchmark wells make no impact to the lake levels at this time. And then while I'm here, I just wanted to say that Suds and Son was great this year, and I appreciate everyone's hard work. I want to talk to the people who will be here next year about, let's communicate the city regulations over fireworks within the city boundaries. I know that it's hard to find people with a match held to a firework to light off, but it's pretty obvious who's lighting off these big fireworks. We don't have to catch them. We're not going to get our $1,200, but let's have a little communication. This is the rules. This is why the rules are, which is when we talk about how flammable this town is in this area. So, I would like to have a more of a educational process in preparation for next 4th of July and Suds and Son. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Anyone like to make any more comments? Would you like to make a comment? You might push the little button there so it turns green. Oh, Chuck, okay. We'll wait for you, Chuck.
But what I gotta say is not important anyway.
Yes.
My breathing's getting a little worse and I'm breathing dust all day long. And I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah.
You tell them to slow down over there where they're building the house. They don't do it. Big old cloud of dust, that's all they want. Rosie's not here. It all goes right to her house. And she can't even go out and sit on her porch anymore. So, but anyway, I don't know what can be done about it, but I doubt anything will be done about it. So, but anyway, I gotta say one other thing. This year's fireworks was the best I've seen since I've been here. So,
That's great.
and that's since 2001. And I don't think it could be better than anything in Seattle.
Well, next year is 250 years, so we'll challenge into that one.
But anyway, I'd like to be able to breathe a little bit. That's my problem.
I have contracted the contractors, so they are gonna mitigate and make them stop and bring water out for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, because we weren't happy about that either, yeah.
Twice they've used my water to wet it down. So I've done my part, so. Anyway, you have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, just for the record, could we get your full name and address?
Chuck Plant, 127 3rd Southeast.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you, John. All right, we're gonna close this portion here to public comment. No old business, no new business. We're gonna move on to executive session, RCW 4230.11, performance of a public employee qualifications of applicant for public employment. I'm gonna say 15 minutes. Right, the time is 5:54.
All right.
Well, I can be.
Yeah. Lauren got me a sign. I've been working on your way. We get a hold of them and I'm trying to get it. And they will be still on here. I can't figure it out. Right, exactly. And make it out. City and
What, they come back on Friday. And maybe they'll come and get some. Yeah, like that.
I've got.
It's not a quick process.
And also, you gave it
Well, I sorry. That's relax. Karen talks so softly.
If I love that. They got that badly. It's getting missed. Yeah. Wow. I guess somebody was.
Are they almost done?
That's true.
I talked to traffic. He said, I wondered if they're supposed to recycle this.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. What I think happens is once in a while, it took over the day. Yeah, then what I do again.
Sometimes you'll take it back.
Time is 6:19, we're out of executive session, no action has been taken. Thank you very much for your patience, we really appreciate that. All right, so now we're moving on to the next ordinance, 1351, next resolution 1032. And we're open up to comments. Council, any comments?
I would like to say that I thought Studs and Sons was fabulous this year too, and thanks to everybody who helped. Fireworks were incredible. And this makes me proud of our little town. Thanks.
I'd like to comment on, the meeting that Bruce spoke to. There were a lot of inaccurate statements, one of which was taking water out of the lake. Was Clyde's response to that was, take all the water you want. And the other thing was that the salt water definition that Clyde used, our lake is not a salt water. It is a, neuromictic lake water. It is, a mineral lake that is layered. That's very different than what the salt lake was, when it had water in it. And that's what makes it so special, that it has this middle layer that keeps the top layer and the bottom layer separated. And Leo Goldsteiners, for those of you who remember him, his paper said that it went from 3 feet down to about a foot. And so it is in danger. And we're trying to figure out what can be done about it. So I was a little disappointed with that, but I didn't want to bring it up at the conference itself because it was at the end. And it's important for the people who live here and who care about it that you get the difference and are able to describe that. And the Conservancy will make some kind of recommendation to the LLC that will allow this board to deal with it. And so if you want to be a part of that, you can come the Conservancy is the third Friday, and the LLC, the Lake Liaison Committee, which is a city committee, is the first Friday of the month. Thank you.
Just to add to that, the Columbia Basin Herald had a report on the actual meeting with the slides and everything like that. So if you want to look up what was said and the slide presentation, that sort of thing from that meeting, you can look it up there.
Nance did a very good. She's the young reporter that is often here, and she did an excellent job.
I was just gonna say, the purpose of the meeting was about the lake flood, though not the quality of the lake, so that maybe needs to be a different meeting sometime.
The June 4th meeting, council meeting, Alex mentioned that his contract with the city was going to be terminated. And I think that's already happened now, correct?
The contract goes through until August 25th.
Okay, thank you. I was shocked at the time to hear that. I didn't know anything about it, and as well as council member Bryson, I think that was new news to her too. And maybe other council members had been informed, but we were surprised to hear that. So anyway, that we also had comments from the public as well, and they were concerned. That led to myself, council member Bryson, having a meeting with city administration to find out why the contract had been terminated. And it was a good meeting. There wasn't really anything more to discuss in the meeting other than just to find out why, because we didn't know why. And I took notes on that. And then we also, Councilmember Bryson and myself also had a meeting with Alice Kovac and to find out, where he stood in this whole process. We took notes, and my goal, as I stated at my last council meeting, was to report back to the council and to the public and concerned citizens on how this or the reasoning behind the termination. I drafted a report that I gave, just yesterday. I gave to, Mayor Sharp, and detailing, the notes that I had made during a meeting with, city administration. And that report was then, mayor sent the report to our attorney, Julie Norton, and so since then, Julie and I have been going through and emailing each other, about what had transpired and the appropriateness of having a report, like I was putting together. And, the last message I got from Julie was just, I read it about an hour before, this council meeting today. So anyway, I don't have much to report other than that. Where it goes from here, I'm not quite sure. This latest, email from Julie, I've got to digest that and figure out where we go from here, possibly nowhere. But, anyway, I said I would report. There you go. That's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, very much.
I got a question. Forgive me, if this is the appropriate place or whatever, but I am new and still learning to be a council member. Aren't we supposed to all be on, my understanding is that when we meet as council members, whether we're reading together to deal with an issue, we're supposed to all be on the same page or be notified together. So if you two went and had this meeting, I don't know anything about it. Should I have not been informed or invited or included?
I
And
think
you're coming,
in June 4th, I don't think you were, meeting at that time, really.
was I don't think I wasn't, but
Yeah,
so.
and that's when the ball started rolling, and that's when I made the announcement that I was, Katie and I would.
We're gonna take on that?
Yeah, we'd meet with the, city administration and.
Okay, but so for my future reference and just knowledge, when council members want to address or get informed about an issue, they do have to notify all council members. So like, I couldn't just go and say, okay, I'm gonna go meet with Alex tomorrow and then not tell you guys. And then come back next meeting and say, oh, this meeting occurred and I'm presenting you with this information. Am I allowed to do that or not?
So,
Better question is, why do only some council meetings don't act?
order,
Please.
please order. All right, so what will happen is if you're acting on behalf of the city, the best form of action is to bring the council, say, hey, listen, you would like to go to have a meeting on behalf of the city and let council approve it, then everyone's safe. Then you don't have to worry about forums or anything like that. That's the best form of action. And if Julie would like to refer to that.
Sure. I don't know if you want me to just step to the mic. So there's, you can't all meet together for a meeting like that because you'd have a quorum in a public meeting. So if you're going to act on behalf of council, like you said, designate, that's why you have a bunch of committees, designate two of you or one of you that's gonna get some information and potentially report back. You as an individual on council are never prohibited from speaking to your own constituents. You can go have a meeting with whoever you want and you may or may not report back to it. You just can't represent that you're having this on behalf of the city. You as an elected member of the council can have a meeting because it's important for you to understand what is important to people out there. That's what you're elected to do. But you can't represent that I'm here on behalf of the council of Silver Lake and bring me your concerns. I'm gonna bring them all back. You know, that would be crossing the line a little bit, but you know, and you're never prohibited as a council member that wants more information about something to go to the mayor and say, hey, this came up at the last meeting. I want some more information about this. And you can meet individually or with one or two of you with the mayor. So there's all kinds of ways to get information. Not all of it has to go through everybody. If you have individual isolated questions or want more information. But when you do say, I on behalf of the council want to do this, then you should report back to the council. Thank you.
Julie, I think there's a number of council members. Is it 3? That is the max that can meet together.
You have, yes,
Officially,
you had
as a committee.
right, because you have a council of 7, so if you had 4, you would have a quorum.
Yes.
So you can't meet with any more than 3 council members on any committee or in any group, otherwise you will have to give special meeting notice and have
Right.
an open public meeting.
So that's why I suspect John and Gideon
Right, and
invited
they
one
made
more
the
position.
most interested in what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and you want one to hear the conversation as well, not
So,
unusual.
did no one volunteer? No one else volunteered.
All right, thank you very much. They're good questions, absolutely. Any more comments? I have a couple. One, the mentioning of the healing waters and stuff like that, and stuff like how we feel like we're maybe moving away. The campgrounds right now, you'll see the new signage that I have designed of the city, the full map of the entire city. We have the one that's already laid out for the campgrounds. Well, I'm actually doing the entire city, so it'll have every business in it, every major intersection, anything that anyone can come to the city and purchase or do events. But we'll be focusing around healing waters. So we will bring that back and it will be pushed out there really aggressive because my goal is to bring that healing waters specials for the campgrounds. And then we're gonna have the media come in and they'll do an expo on the healing waters to try to bring it back. And yeah, so there's more to come for the next meeting. It looks really great. Okay. All right, that's it for that. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
And second, all in favor?
Aye.
All in favor? Yeah.
Susan?
6:31. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming.